Hello friends. We often receive inquiries at the International Office about elements of pastoral compensation. So I wanted to make a brief 4-minute video and touch on the 4 key things to be considered by a church board when establishing or reviewing compensation for either the lead pastor or members of the pastoral staff. First of all, we recommend that there be an annual review of compensation. This should be conducted by the board and at the minimum take into consideration the Consumer Price Index or CPI for your province or territory. This adjustment allows the pastor to at least keep up with inflation. A CPI adjustment isn't even a raise, it's just keeping up with the costs of goods and services in your community year over year. As a rule of thumb, churches with a mortgage will generally spend up to 35% of their total revenues on total compensation. When there's no mortgage, churches may go as high as 60% of their total revenues for total compensation. Salary, once established, is the cornerstone of the pastor's compensation. The Canada Revenue Agency then makes allowance for pastors to claim a clergy residence allowance as a tax deduction against their salary. Pastors may claim $10,000 or up to 1/3 of their salary, whichever is greater, based on the actual rent they pay, and this may include the rent they pay or taxable benefit they receive to live in a parsonage, or if the pastor owns their own home, they may claim the rental equivalent for their property, supported by a letter from a local realtor establishing the fair market value for the property. So, salary with a clergy residence deduction, sometimes called a housing allowance, these are the first 2 key elements. Thirdly, we recommend participation in the group health insurance plans, which are offered by all 8 districts in a coordinated plan across the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. These plans are managed by the districts with a view to keeping them affordable for churches, while also providing for the pastor and their family to access important health and dental benefits, and also may provide them with critical illness coverage, short-term and long-term disability insurance, and life insurance, which blesses the pastor and their family and protects the church should something drastic ever happen. The 4th element of compensation is assisting the pastor with a retirement planning program. We are benevolent people, and there is something of a shared responsibility in encouraging the pastor to think about their own future and to set aside a portion of their income for their retirement. This is usually expressed through a matching program where the pastor contributes and this is then matched by the church. This may be accomplished through a registered retirement savings plan, or I recommend consideration of the PAOC pension plan. The pastor can get started in either the defined benefit or the defined contribution plans within the PAOC pension for as little as 2.5% of their total salary, including the housing allowance amount, and this being matched by the church. So these are the 4 pillars of compensation. Salary, including a housing allowance claim or a clergy residence allowance claim, group health insurance, and then retirement planning. Thank you for considering these 4 things. If you would like more information, please feel free to contact me here in Mississauga or contact your district office, and any of us would be very pleased to speak with you. God bless you, friends, and thank you for your faithfulness.